everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not Quite Ringside Podcast. I am your host, the Captain Corey Smelser, and joining us via Skype is Will Twinkie Welch.
Hey guys.
So, the Superstar Shakeup was this week, and oh my goodness, there was some good moves and not so good moves, in my opinion. And so we'll get onto that within. We'll get into that later in the show, but as of right now, we're going to get into some wrestling news. And with that, we're going to have Twink take care of the news again, like normal.
Right. So this week in news, we have Kane running for Knox County Mayor. That is Knox, Tennessee, which is county seated in Knoxville. I don't know what to say. I'm baffled by this move.
Go Balls!
Kane goes from body slamming people in the ring to body slamming circle, I guess. The next one, Renee got married to Ambrose. Oh, congratulations, Renee and Dean Ambrose. Very excited.
That makes me happy and sad all at the same time because, you know, Renee's my girl, so it makes me a little sad.
I do like hearing Renee on talking smack in kind of a jest way, and it was really funny to hear them go back and forth about, hey, I hear congratulations in order. Yeah, because on live, Kevin Owens. No, for you. Oh, we're not getting into that. And just watching it go from there because it was awkward. AJ Lee released a book this week.
Yeah, that's called My Superpower is Crazy. And people are saying that's actually a fairly decent book. So maybe I'll check it out, maybe I won't. Probably not because I don't like to read.
I don't know. I might read it. I haven't put it in my mind. Big one. This one kind of hurts a little bit. Balor got a concussion this week on Raw. He takes a vicious elbow from Jinder Mahal, and news has come out that he is concussed.
Well, that's no good because how WWE normally does their concussion protocol is that they're normally out for 30 days, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, 30 days. It's going to be, I don't know if it's 30 days, whenever they quit showing signs of being concussed and when they go through that protocol.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully he's not out for too long since he just got back.
Yeah, that would be bad. I don't want to see him out for too much longer.
No. We don't want to see that at all. And, what else happened? There was something else that happened. We had one more piece of news.
I didn't write it down.
Well, I guess it wasn't that important then. Well, I guess that takes care of the news, so we're going to go ahead and jump into some ROH. It starts out pretty much just with a wrestling match right off the bat. It's Punishment Martinez versus Hanson from War Machine.
I enjoyed the match.
I did too. I especially liked when Punishment did a suicide dive over the top post. That was probably the biggest highlight of the match. But
I agree. I wrote down here that Punishment can fly. We said it in our first podcast. He could. I still think. The other one that got me, Hanson reminds me a little bit of Big Van Vader. You know, with the moonsault he did and some of the other moves that he does, he just kind of reminds me of Vader.
Yeah, I can see that. And also, but, you know, people who are this big, they move very, very well, like very smooth in the ring. Like it was a pretty interesting match to watch. But, like, when Hanson went up to the top rope, you know, Hanson is freaking 350 plus pounds, and here he goes onto the top post, and he does a moonsault. And it was still impressive, I mean, with the miss.
To me, is because even with the miss, Punishment Martinez won with the help from Davey Boy Smith Jr. This is the British Bulldog's son. He came out and distracted him. Missed the moonsault. I don't know if I like Hanson versus Davey Boy Smith Jr.
I don't
know how I would feel about that.
I wasn't really too happy with the distraction from Davey Boy just because, it interrupted a good match. But then ROH is still is building a story to the new pay-per-view that's coming up. So, that'll be interesting to see. But I don't think it's going to be Hanson. I think it might be Punishment though. Would it be Punishment or was he distracting War Machine or Hanson?
He distracted Hanson.
Oh, okay.
But that goes back to where he teamed with War Machine for the 6-man titles and they lost. So that's kind of what happened there.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of where they're with this.
Here's some interesting things that happened on ROH is that Hangman Page jumped Kazarian pretty much for payback of what happened at 15th anniversary when Kazarian turned on the Bullet Club to help Daniels win the ROH World title. So that's interesting.
That was interesting. Here's my thing, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine with ROH. We saw, me and you watched Supercard of Honor. All this takes place before Supercard of Honor.
Yeah.
So here we are 2 weeks later, 2 weeks later, and we're still getting stuff that card. Like the main event of the show was Silas Young and the Kingdom versus the Dudley Boys and Bully Ray. And you knew who won.
We already knew who won that, and that's what I put down. I was like, when we get to that match, I pretty much put down that it was a good match to watch, but it was not as fun to watch because we already knew what happened. It was like it was a spoiler even before the match even aired for TV.
Yes, I agree with that.
So, match number 2 was another. It was a semi for the Top Prospect tournament. It was against Kurt Stallion versus John Skyler. I thought it was actually a really good match. I really enjoyed the match. Nothing really to say. It was fast paced, but very exciting to watch. And it was John Skyler who came out with the win, and he's going to be facing Josh the Goods Woods in the finals. So that's going to be probably a fairly decent match to watch.
I agree, but having said that, that match had a couple of spots in it. When Kurt Stallion did dive, and when Skyler moved after that response was hilarious. You just killed him.
Oh yeah,
it went on for a good couple of minutes there. That was funny.
And so, and then we moved to a video recording of Adam Cole. He's trying to apologize to the Young Bucks. And my only thing with that is that last week on ROH we saw that Adam Cole tried to kick the Young Bucks out of the Bullet Club, and the Young Bucks pretty much said, "We're going to go talk to Kenny Omega, who's actually the leader of the Bullet Club." So my thinking is Adam Cole afraid of Kenny Omega, and that's why he's trying to apologize to the Young Bucks? I think so, because Kenny Omega is the legit leader of the Bullet Club.
I agree, and I think not only scared of him, he doesn't want to face him in a match. I wouldn't say necessarily scared. That's more of smart business decision on his part, because I think that they would have him lose and because I think this is we're getting down to the end of his contract,
right?
And I think we're fixing to see Adam Cole somewhere else. I'm hoping NXT. I would love to see him go against Drew McIntyre and Bobby Roode.
Yeah,
the names of NXT, or just put him on SmackDown on the main roster and have him go with AJ, or put him on the main roster and teaming him back up with the club.
Right, and Finn's on Raw too, so that could be another thing for the Baylor Club to make their debut in WWE.
Yes, oh, the Balor Club. Come on, give me the Balor Club. WWE. Well, we'll get in the Balor Club and Raw because money. That's all I can say.
Because
money.
You have the Shield now. All members of the Shield are now on Raw now, and it'll be interesting to see the Shield reunion versus Baylor Club, aka Bullet Club.
Yes.
That's just
I want
money.
To see it. Give it to me.
And then we finish off the card with the 6-man tag titles, where it's the Briscoes and Bully versus 2/3 of the Kingdom and Silas Young. Like I said, the match is good to watch if you don't know what happened, but since you do because you watch Supercard, then wasn't all that exciting to watch. It was just pretty much you're watching highlights.
Pretty much. Although I will say they showed a member of the Kingdom got hurt, and when they showed that, you could tell he broke his leg.
Oh, in the preview when that one guy from the Kingdom got hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, you could tell by that. I was like, oh man, that had to hurt. But again,
yeah, he jumped a little too far.
Yeah. Well, that's why they call it high risk. So that finishes off as the Briscoes and Bully. The Briscoes and Bully winning the 6-man tag champions. All in all, I think I'll give like the final grade. If I had to put a grade on ROH, I will give it a solid B, just for the matches alone.
I agree. I think I put B+. I enjoyed the matches. I even enjoyed knowing who was going to win. I even Briscoe, so maybe that's just showing my Ring of Honor bias again, but I enjoyed it.
So, with that being said, we move to 205 Live. Now, 205 Live, that was a good show. I put that 205 Live was the best show of the week that WWE put out. But you start out with
yes, definitely.
You start out with match number 1, which is the Brian Kendrick versus the probably 205's biggest baby face that they probably have on the show, that the fans are behind, that the fans want to see win, the fans want to see this guy succeed, Mustafa Ali. And
I don't know, face. He's the biggest true baby face because A-Double doesn't really play babyface. He plays kind of a heelish babyface. So, yeah, I guess I'd give you true babyface. A-Double still gets bigger pops.
Well, you just can't hear Mustafa's pops because his music's so loud. But
I'm an A-Double bias alone.
I thought Corey Graves gave a good poke at Drew Gulak because Gulak, I don't know what he's trying to do, but Graves said that Gulak is like the WWE's mother-in-law, and that he's trying to tell everyone what to do.
I'm Corey Graves, and is it Tom Phillips, I believe?
Yeah.
Calling 5 Live. Know how to call a match. Listen to them call the match. It is pure amazing awesomeness.
That's how you're supposed to call a show, is how Phillips and Graves are doing it. Take note, SmackDown and Raw. This is how you call matches. This is how you call a show. Agreed.
So you want to get into the Ali versus Kendrick match?
Yeah. That was during the match. And pretty much it was a pretty straightforward match. And it was a good, it was a excellent match to watch. Some of the spots was where Mustafa did a crossbody from the turnbuckle to the outside onto Kendrick. That was a pretty good spot to hit, and it was nice it was a good spot for TV to see. And then Kendrick crawls under the ring because he's the wily veteran.
I was gonna say, yes, I love that. He was like, "Where is he?" And he had left his hand on the apron, and even though you knew it was coming, it was still a really funny moment.
Yeah. And then Kendrick takes advantage of the match for a little bit, and then Mustafa hits a near-perfect rolling neck breaker. That neck breaker is a sight to see because you don't see it all that often from people. And it's a fun move. And so, Kendrick gets Mustafa into the captain's hook, and Mustafa's trying to crawl to the ropes to break it. Well, the bell rings, and you're thinking that it's like another Montreal screw job, And so the bell rings. Kendrick lets go of the hold, and he thinks he's won. The ref's like, I did not tell you to ring the bell. Who rung the bell? And it turns out that it was Akira Tozawa who rung the bell. And he revealed himself, and Mustafa takes advantage and does the inverted 450, and Mustafa wins the match. After the match, Tozawa gets onto the microphone, and he tells Kendrick, I teach you lesson number 2. Appearances can't be deceiving. So he's pretty much he's pretty much giving Kendrick all of his lessons back to him weekly now. Which is great, because it's karma, Kendrick, karma.
Yes, it was a funny moment. I love it. I think it's great. I thought like you did another Montreal, and I was thinking, why are we doing this to Mustafa Ali? And then Tozawa pops up, and I was like, that's why. Pretty funny.
Yes. So their rivalry is becoming pretty intense, and it's going to be fun to keep on watching this rivalry continue. So, and then we get
just Ocean.
Well, we had TJP come for a promo in the back, and I really do think that heel TJP is going to be very interesting to watch. We'll get into that more as we go through the show, but just watching that promo, it was pretty nice to see a new heel on 205 that, is on TV every week.
Yeah, a new heel for sure. TJP as a heel, change your music, change how you come out, quit paying crowd so much.
Stop dabbing.
And you've got a much better heel.
Just stop dabbing.
Corey Graves and Tom Phillips. I thought that thing died a long time ago.
Yeah, Austin said that too in a promo throughout the day. He's like, it's like, why is TJ Perkins still dabbing in 2017? Like 2016 was so long ago. And so, with that all being said and done, we did move to match number 2, which was Rich Swann versus a nobody. Johnny Ocean was the opponent's name. It was not a really surprising match. It was pretty boring to watch, actually. Rich Swann wins with the only entertaining thing that happened in the match, which was his Phoenix Splash. And he wins the match with that, and then he gets on the microphone, and then he starts to explain more things about how he's been sending gifts to Alicia and all of this, and then Noam Dar comes out, calls him a liar, and his little Scottish accent. Alicia then comes out, calls Rich a liar, and then another gift shows up. Dar is taking credit for this gift also, but this gift is booby-trapped, and it explodes baby powder all over Alicia. But if you didn't see something like that coming by the way how Swann was acting, then you're just as bad as the people who think the Earth is still flat. So you should have saw that coming.
I wondered how they were going to do that. What they were going to. I thought maybe a spider or some kind of weird, creepy thing that Alicia was going to. Gosh, I can't believe you put that in there, or whatever. And it was the baby powder thing. And to watch Noam Dar after this, kind of like, and the look on his face is he's like, I didn't know that was coming, and it was a surprise. Moment. It was really quite entertaining to watch. I mean, that storyline's been developing with her and Dar, with him and with Alicia Fox.
Rich Swann.
I kind of wish they would. Well, I was talking about just those two being in a storyline together for a while. I just wish they'd let Alicia Fox go out of the storylines on 205 Live. I'm not a fan of Alicia Fox. I didn't enjoy her promo tonight. I don't enjoy her character. Let it.
You're. The thing with Skype is that he's gonna be lagging a little bit. And so that's why you're hearing these big spaces of silence, and it's nothing that we can do. It's just Skype not working proper, or Skype is working properly. It's just there's a lag in between us. But I agree that Alicia shouldn't be no more into the storyline. But then you won't have anything to deal with Rich Swann, and then you have Rich Swann come off of TV, and I guess people don't want that. But I'm really happy that they decided to do the baby powder, because it's a more visual effect of what happened instead of having like something scary and they're like a spider. Jumping snakes would have been fun too.
That would have been funny. I would have enjoyed those too, like the like in the Pringles cans thing used to. Oh, hey, snake.
Yeah, snakes would have been really, really fun. But baby powder was also good. So we'll just leave that at that, and we'll see what happens next week when Swann and Dar probably go up against each other. So now we move to the main event, which is Gentleman Jack versus TJ Perkins. Like Will said, that if TJ is trying to go heel, he should come out with a new music and new gear and just a whole new entrance to match his heel character. But I guess how it's leading up to, he's still confused. Like he's in the middle, like he's confused that he's want to still be a face or he still wants to be a heel. So he's in that middle area. But more likely or not, how it's rolling out, he's going to be wanting to go heel, which how it's running.
Yeah, and with that double, you're going to need another heel, because I don't want to keep continuing for the next 6-8 months. I don't want to keep continuing seeing versus Neville. Don't get me wrong; they're really good matches. I just don't want to keep seeing it.
No, it's just it gets dull after a while, and it just turns to, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, I've seen that before. Oh, here this goes again. They're just redoing the matches all over again. Before the bell rings in this match, though, TJP refuses to shake Gallagher's hand. All he does is just fix his hair, which is very heelish, and I like that about it. And then the match goes on, and then Gallagher does a submission move, and then while he's doing it, he does a little reference to Mustache Mountain. And so that was pretty interesting, which makes me wonder, is he going to go into the UK show after 205, or is he going to stay on 205? But either where he goes, he'll fit really well. I think if he goes to the UK show, he'll be a really strong contender to Tyler Bates for the UK title.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting there. I think he'll probably go to the girl scene, because you are guys that are starting to get involved with 205. Kalisto and some of those guys who can go into that 205 lot.
So afterwards, we have Gallagher. He's pretty much taking care of the whole matchup. TJP leaves the ring because he doesn't want to get hit with something. Oh, it was when Winston the Third made his appearance, and he was about to jump off the turnbuckle. Gallagher was, but TJP got out of the way, and he started to walk way up the ramp, and he's taking his time. And then Gallagher did something that was pretty interesting, is that he dabbed in the middle of the ring, and that pretty much taunted TJP to get back into the ring. And that was fun to watch from Gallagher, just because that's something that you don't see a gentleman doing.
Jonism did the slight gentleman's bow while doing the dab. That was great. I did enjoy that. And you're right, that did get TJ Perkins back in the ring. And that's when TJ proceeded to use a lot of psychology, working on trying to take out the knee for his submission hold.
Yeah, he attacked. He got onto that knee with the DDT with his knee up from the bottom rope, and that pretty much started the whole chain of events that happened throughout the rest of the match. Was TJP aiming for that knee, and like you said, that was good psychology from TJP and from Gentleman Jack. and how Gentleman Jack sold it and how TJ kept on attacking it with the submissions. One of the submissions that I thought was pretty awesome that he used was like a clover leaf crab. And I thought that was pretty interesting because that's a submission that you never actually seen before, was the clover leaf crab. And that's what I'm calling it. I'm not sure if that's like any like real name to it.
Well, even they mentioned on the broadcast today that on the broadcast, TJ Perkins inventing new holds as he's going here in the ring. Like, we've never seen this before. And when you've got somebody who's been in the business like Corey Graves has been, I think they even said on the broadcast he's been in it for 15 years. You know, you see that, it's just interesting to see the innovation, the creativeness, the high-flyingness, how fast these guys are on 205. I didn't think I would enjoy 205. That's why I haven't really watched it, but I've really enjoyed it.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you earlier. I was like, the shows that 205 is putting on are actually really good shows. Like, just the in-ring work is really good to watch. You know, I mean, their promo skills could be a little bit better with some of the characters, with some of the superstars, but their in-ring, there's no rivaling with it in WWE, and it's great to watch. And I've been trying to tell you this, and yet you still haven't watched 205 until we started this podcast.
You're right. And I'm probably going to go back and watch some 205, some of the earlier stuff, because I am enjoying it.
And then, again, TJP put Gallagher in another submission hold. A submission hold, what you rarely see is the butterfly lock. And it was a submission that Gallagher couldn't quite escape from right off the bat like he can normally do with other things. And so, but the butterfly lock takes so long to set up that you don't see it. And it was nice to see it on 205.
Yeah, another thing I love about 205 is there may only be 3 matches on the whole show. But the show is still 51 minutes, so they're giving these guys time. I mean, that's 17 minutes a match. Now, granted, that middle match didn't take 17 minutes, but that segment took close to 15. Mm-hmm. I really like that. I like match. Let them tell their story. Let them build their time. Now, I will say, we're going to get into this in a minute because I'm going to catch some criticism from somebody for going, well, why do you like this match even though it was only 15 seconds match for 17? A 17 minutes match with 2 good competitors is different than...
Oh, hold on. You're lagging right now. We'll get you back, but I can see where you're coming from. Like, a 17-minute match is different from a 15-second match because a 15-minute match, you're pretty much expecting it, especially when it's a big superstar versus pretty much a nobody. But then you have 2 good superstars, and therefore, like, a 17-minute match, and the match is so good that you don't even realize that it's been 17, 20, 30 minutes, but you're so entertained with the match that you don't even care how much time they actually took up on the show, which is great. But what you were saying on 205 was that they actually give them the time to do the psychology, to do the stories in their matches. And that is what is making 205 great.
Yeah, that is exactly it's also what's killing Raw and SmackDown.
Well, they're trying to cram so much stuff into Raw that it's like, well, I really don't want to see a 6-woman tag match because you're trying to get all the women wrestlers on the show, but all in one match. And so all you have them do is that all you have them do all their spots, their signature moves and all of this, but you don't have them build the psychology in the match. That's what's made the... Moving back down to WrestleMania 26 was when Ric Flair retired? No, because Ric Flair retired before Michaels. But it was the Ric Flair-Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania. Going back to that, they gave them enough time to for Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair, enough time to build their story, to build that psychology in the ring where you're invested in the match and you were so in tune with it. And even when Shawn Michaels said to Ric Flair at the end of the match before he switched in music to him was that "I love you," which sends shockwaves just through the whole stadium. And once Ric Flair lost, everyone was so emotionally invested in this match that they couldn't help but, shed a few tears. And all this stuff and give Ric Flair his proper due respects because that was his retirement match. Now, going back to Raw, they don't give him that time, and so you don't get invested with the superstars as much.
You went back to that particular one. I can still tell you exactly where I was when I watched Shawn Michaels say, "I love you, I'm sorry," and it just you bring back so many memories that come back with it. You were the night Undertaker beat Shawn Michaels to retire Shawn Michaels. I remember where I was. We watched it together. It's something I'm never gonna forget.
No, because that was a really good match, though.
Yes, but I digress. So,
yep, going back to Gallagher versus Perkins. Gallagher hits Perkins with this very, very vicious side suplex from the top, and Perkins lands on his shoulders and his neck area, and that's why I said it was a vicious one. It was good to see because it was smoothly done, but how Perkins landed, it was a little vicious.
Yes, it was. It was pretty vicious. It made me cringe.
And then Perkins recovers from being suplexed, and then very, very quickly puts Gallagher into a knee bar. And this knee bar's going on. Gallagher looks like he's about to tap, like he's about to slam his hand into the canvas, about to tap out because it's hurting so badly, because you're going back to the psychology of the knee hurting so badly. But Gallagher rolls and luckily gets to the bottom rope where TJ has to release the hold. Now from that, TJP goes for an over-the-top drop kick, over-the-top rope drop kick, and what seems to appear to look like Gallagher did a very ungentlemanly thing to do, and he took the ring apron and trapped TJP in the ring apron to deliver that headbutt.
Yes, that was very innovative. I enjoyed the innovation from 205 Live and things there.
It is the most exciting hour on television as they promote it. And so, after that, they get back in the ring. Gallagher hits AJ with another headbutt. They both are out. Gallagher tries to go for the gentleman dropkick. His knee gives out. TJ takes advantage, puts him on his shoulder for the detonation kick. 1, 2, 3. TJP wins the match. What I find interesting about the end of this match is that, yes, TJP won, but if he's trying to turn heel, how come he didn't stay on the attack on Gentleman Jack to damage that knee further, as, a true heel would?
Well, I think what you said about him being confused on am I heel, am I a face? We got that moment, though, where after the match, we got that moment with him and Neville. I think that they're going heel, but I think that I could also see where this is all a ploy to sucker Neville into some sense of false, kind of like they did with Kazarian at a Bullet Club.
Right. I said it was a great match. This loss to Gentleman Jack does not hurt him at all in the ranking system. In 205, and 205 had a ranking system, and I said, if anything, this match boosts both their stocks because it was such a good match.
Well, considering Gentleman Jack, it wouldn't hurt TJP at all. It would hurt Gentleman Jack, if anything. But they both did so well that I don't think it would hurt either one.
No. And then Neville comes out and he raises TJP's hands. And I said I like this team up because we were talking earlier and you said that you have your king and now you have the prince.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel. I mean, when you had, just to throw in another WWE star, when you had AJ kind of coming up when he was still younger with TNA, you had Kurt, and he was like, he was King Kurt Angle basically, and then you had the Prince of Phenomenal AJ Styles, and I kind of see this being like a mentor thing where Neville is mentoring TJP, and him and TJP have a match somewhere along the lines where they continue to turn Perkins heel, where these two go at it in the ring, and I think it would be really good.
Yes. Having Neville versus TJP would be a really good match. But then you have TJP going heel right now, but like you said, it could just be a ploy to from TJP to draw him in like a false sense of comfort, just so he can strike at an opportune moment.
Right, and it's very interesting to watch and think about some of the ways these things are going to play out. I personally would love to just forget trying to play this in-between character, just go full-blown heel, even dirtier than Neville.
Ooh. Well, Neville does play the heel, like, just in his promos, but in his in-ring work, pretty much the only heel thing we actually see him do was at WrestleMania when he attacked Aries' eye socket. And that was pretty much the only heel thing, as I remember, that he did in the ring since he's turned heel.
I forget, he's trying to turn the crowd against him too, so when he acted like he was going to do Red Arrow and then did the Rings of Saturn, that was a heel move too.
Yeah, but again, that was at Mania, so...
That wasn't at Mania, that was the next night on Raw.
Oh yeah, that's right, against Mustafa.
Yep.
Yeah, and so, put a grade on 205. I said it was the best WWE show of the week. And so I gave it an A- just because of the Rich Swann, Noam Dar segment. That's why I got an A-.
And I gave it an A. The Swan Dar thing wasn't too bad. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't like it, but every now and again it would be funny. Like I said, I gave it an A. I thought the wrestling was phenomenal. The in-ring work, even the mic work was actually pretty good on this show.
It was because you had the top talent from on 205 doing the mic work. You had TJP, you had A-Double, you had you didn't have Neville on this one, no, but you had Rich Swann and you had Dar, who Dar is surprisingly good on the mic when he wants to be. And then you have Alicia, but she's never good on the mic. But with just those superstars, it was good mic.
Right. So moving on from 205, I'm into NXT. I don't know it, but I covered it. I watched NXT tonight.
Yeah, I didn't watch NXT. I was visiting a family because Easter's coming up.
Yeah.
Or Easter. Yeah, Easter is coming up, and so visiting family, and so I didn't have a chance to watch 205. So, we may need to suffer through your laggy Skype to find out what happened on 205. I mean, not 205, NXT.
Alright, so on NXT this week, the first match was Aleister Black, and I didn't get last name was Hollis. And the reason I didn't catch his first name, this match, I literally bent over to pick my notes up, and I look up and I hear smack. And Black had hit a spin kick and the match was over. Like I said, this pushing Black, building Black, I'm okay with the 15-second match as long as you're progressing someone. It makes him look really strong. I really enjoyed his that match was short, sweet, and to the point.
That's what they did with Strowman when he was facing a bunch of nobodies, was that he was doing like these 30-second matches and just power slamming them and pinning them. But that, it worked for Strowman because that built him up to the level where he is now.
Right. So after the Black match, we move into a promo. They asked Ty Dillinger, how'd you enjoy debuting on SmackDown? He's like, I really enjoyed it, but I felt like I had some unfinished business, so I sought out William Regal, and next week will be Ty Dillinger versus Eric. He said, Eric Young, if you think you're going to bring in Sanity and play those numbers games again, cage match.
Cage match? That'd be interesting. Cage match on NXT? Wow, I haven't seen one of those since Nakamura and Joe.
Right, and it's going to be on live on NXT. That's not a takeover.
Really? Wow. That's pretty shocking, actually. That they're not going to be
next week on NXT.
That they're not going to be taping this. Wow.
I think it is one of those taped ones, but I'm not going out looking at stuff for next week. I'm just going to see next week.
Oh, so what they're probably going to do? They're probably going to have it as a dark match for right now, but then probably the week after or 2 weeks later, they're going to show it on NXT TV.
Well, this is like I said, it's supposed to happen next.
It's supposed to happen next week.
He specifically said Ty Dillinger. Yes, Ty Dillinger specifically said that they were going to do it next week.
That's going to be a really good match.
Yeah, I think so too. I love EY. He can play any gimmick, and it's crazy how he can do that. So, moving on to the next match is DIY versus a guy named Miley and Michael Blaze. And
some nobodies.
It was another uneventful match. It was a nobody. It was two nobodies, except for Miley is got hands. His hands are as big as Andre the Giant's hands. He's 6'3", and he is built like Braun Strowman at 6'3". Johnny Gargano went to do in the ring to do a crossbody, and Johnny Wrestling got held up in the air for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Held up in a straight vertical suplex for a good 2 or 3 minutes before he suplexed him.
What was
that,
Ciampa doing? Just
fairly
just
quickly, and
chilling.
DIY won. What?
What was Ciampa doing? Just chilling.
He tagged out. He got Ciampa tagged out because he got beat up pretty good in the first going of the match by Miley. Once Miley tagged, he got pinned, and then Miley proceeded to beat the ever-loving daylights out of him.
Okay. That makes sense. But
moved on to Ruby Riott.
Did DIY come out with the win?
DIY pinned Michael Blaze. It was, like I said, once they tagged in Blaze, it was pretty much over fairly quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, this show, Ruby Riott versus her name is Kimberly. And I didn't catch the last name, but she's been champion like everywhere she's been. She's wrestled in Shimmer and Shine, which are two all-women promotions. She's wrestled in several other ones. So which, like we said last week, they really needed to. Nothing eventful really happens in this match, except for, what's her name from Sanity came out, the female from
Jessica
Sanity.
Cross.
And was like, just standing around at ringside, Ruby Riott's attention a few times, trying to lose. Ruby Riott won her debut match, and was
wins her debut singles match because she lost at Takeover with Dillinger, Cassius, and Roddy Strong against Sanity.
Right. Well, I mean, I was just counting her singles.
Yep. And now move on to the main event because that's all we care about.
Yeah, I was fixing to, except for one other. We care about more than the main event because after the main event was pretty cool too. But in between here, you got an Ember Moon promo saying that she will be back.
Yeah, no one cares.
So your next challenger for Asuka is going to be Ember Moon.
Woohoo!
Well, your next. So.
You can just hear the enthusiasm in my voice about another Ember Moon versus Asuka match.
Well, hey, it happened. Next match is Drew McIntyre versus, I can't remember his first name, but Lorcan. Is it Oney Lorcan?
Oney Lorcan.
Yeah. McIntyre won. It was actually a pretty good match. There was some back and forth, some give and take there, and agility moves. And Drew McIntyre used his power, hit him with I want to call it an Alabama slam, but it was a little bit more than that because he didn't just have him up on his shoulder. He pulled him from halfway down his back and did an Alabama slam type maneuver to him. And McIntyre won. The announcers were good. Drew McIntyre could have signed any he wanted to, yet he chose to sign at Heat. And like we have said in the past, I don't understand why unless they're just paying him out the wazoo, because I would not sign back with WWE, period. But hey, you know what? More power to him if they're paying him good money.
Well, if they're paying him and giving him a proper push, then I don't see why not sign with WWE.
If you're gonna give him WWE better than anybody else almost, and proper push for them means, hey, you win 5 matches and then we make you lose.
We just make you disappear.
Yeah.
Unless you're Roman Reigns.
So, well, we don't go into Roman because that's about all I can say there. So right here at the end of the show, Nakamura says, I came here, I had a lot of experience in Japan, I was a champion in Japan, I am NXT, I am me because you guys made me the way I am, you push me, you are innovative in your dance, the singing is something I've never experienced before, and you guys are wonderful. Basically, this was him saying goodbye to the NXT universe because he came up to SmackDown and he's going to be fully on SmackDown now.
Oh, good. That's good news.
Definitely. They didn't bring anybody out like they normally have him be the next challenger for Nakamura. He's just gone.
Well, he had a good send-off with what happened at TakeOver, was where he lost his match, but then the crowd pretty much gave him a send-off, and it was a nice one. So it's time for Nakamura to leave NXT, because NXT is its own entity in itself, but it's still developmental, and he has quote-unquote graduated from NXT, and now he's on the main roster.
Yep, and also that, he said, you're your own brand, they're their own brand, they're their own entity, and I was glad to be a part of it. So good on Nakamura for coming out and giving credit to the fans.
We're going to have to cut the podcast short right here, just because of what all happened on Raw and SmackDown, the whole Superstar shakeup, what all happened on Raw, the storylines and everything like that. So we're going to cut it right here. We're going to post this episode on Thursday, and we're going to post part 2, which is going to be Raw and SmackDown, on Saturday. So make sure you catch both shows so you know what's going on. You can catch us. All of our podcasts are going to be on iTunes and YouTube, and you can also download the Spreaker app and download the Spreaker app and find us on there and listen to us with the app also. With that being said, again, remember to catch us on Saturday when we do part 2 of this podcast. I am the captain, Corey Smelzer, and Will Twinkie Welch lost connection with Skype just a few minutes ago, and I'll say his farewells for him. Until then, we'll see you guys on Saturday with Raw and SmackDown Superstar Shakeup Part 2.